Hi. Hi. So, in this model, we are going to learn how to store in certain slots of a rack store based on some variable numbers. Okay. So let's say we have a rack. Okay, and we want to store the items based on the base of the cells that are marked with a value. Let's say I have got two types of product and I have got two types of marking on the rack. So product one can go into certain cells and product two can go into certain cells. So in order to do that, we would use the paint slot labels. So it can be done dynamically using a code, but today in this video we are going to do it manually. Okay, so let's say this is our rack and we are going to paint the slots. Okay. So now let's say we are going to take a label called SKU or whatever you like. So SKU, the red color. So let's say, okay, this red, 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 red. Another one, let's say two, green, 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 and green. So you can see the green cells have a value of 2. Okay, so now let's go and create a QE element here. So the products will appear here. Okay. So now we are going to go to the process flow. We are going to open the general process flow and let's create an source. This will generate some tokens at this amount of time between 0 and 10 seconds. One token will be created. I want to assign a label to this token, which will contain the type of the token. So I want two types of token between 1 and 2. So now that I know, I want to create the item based on this token. So I want to create an object, and in the object I want them to appear at I want the created items to appear at the QE1 element. Okay, QE1. So now the generated object, I will want them to look different. So let's say it's going to be conditional. So it will be token dot category or whatever we named them in the level. So it was type. Okay. So token dot type. So if it's one, I want them to look like a box, and if it's not one, I want them to look like a cylinder. So two. So now that I have created the object, let's see how it looks. So this is my created object, a box and a cylinder. Once we have done that, let's say mm, after that we are going to take an operator and put them here and a resource here. Okay, so now after I've created the object, the resource reference is going to be the operator itself, and I want to acquire the resource, and the resource is going to take this one, quantity one, assign to label. So okay, so now it's stored as token.resource. Now I want to load the item, and in the load item I want to use the resource that I just took, item container. Okay, fine. So after this it's okay. So let's just run it and see after this what's happening. Okay, let's see here. I can see it's a cylinder. It has taken one resource, and okay, after this I can see it's okay. So the destination is not clear yet. So let's see in the load what we did. So I am calling the resource in the acquire. It's okay, load. So this one should have worked, but I'm not sure why this is not working. Let's see again. Okay, now it has worked. Okay, so they have loaded it. Now I need to know where should I store the cylinder, where should I store the box. So we need to find this slot. So let's find this slot, and in this slot, if you remember, we have already colored the rack with the paint levels using one for the red, two for the green. Okay, so now in the find slot, we are not we are not going to store just any slot. Okay, we are going to use the filter, and we're going to use the SKU name, but it's not here. Let's see why that is not here. Okay, that's because we need to go to the toolbox, and we will find the storage system here. We would have to create a variable called SKU. We want them to be indexed. This is not important, but this is quite. This makes our life easier if we open the indexed. Okay. So now that we have done it, we should find the SKU element here. Okay. So now we know which SKU to look for. So we want to look for the token, which is going to be the $1 token dot I guess type equals to token dot type. So let's see token dot type. Yeah. So now let's see what's happening. Okay. So if I click here, you can see it has found something. So now I want it to store. So whatever value I have found it, so I want to token dot slot, token dot item. Okay, so now let's use a assign slot or assign labels. Yeah. Now let's see what happens here. So now let's run it, and okay, let's click here. You can see they have found a slot. Okay, based on the find slot, they know where that item should go. So now I want to get the rack based on this slot. So whatever slot I have gotten here, token dot slot, token dot item, in the assign levels to token. Okay, I want it to be a rack. So I want to get the rack out of that slot. So the value is going to be token dot slot dot as storage dot slot dot storage object. Okay, this will return the rack. So now let's see if it's returning the rack or not. Okay, on slot. Okay, so now I see it has gotten the rack. So all I need to do is send this operator to store it into the rack. So now let's see if that's how that can be done. So using that, if I just tell it to unload it, let's see if it can do it. So unload. So I want it to be the resource and item, and the station is going to be the rack. So now let's see. Okay, so I can see it has stored it, right? So after storing it, I need to release the operator so they can keep working. So acquire and release. Okay, in the release, so token dot resource last acquired token dot resource. Yeah. Now let's run it. Okay, so let's go a little further. Okay, so now we can see the items are just building up. So in order to tackle that, we are going to use another condition here, is that where filter slot has space. Okay, whatever we are going to store in it, it should have space. So now if I run it with this condition, I can see they're doing it beautifully. Okay, so okay, so there is no more space for the cylinder object. So in order to handle that, let's see we can do something about that. So in the find slot, if we cannot find anything, okay, so let's say there is a max wait time. So let's say after 30 seconds, if they do not don't let's say 10 seconds, they don't find a slot, they will just release it. Hmm. So they don't have a slot. So in the find slot, if they don't have a slot, okay, so let's see after the find slot. Okay, if we fail, then let's say if we fail at find slot, if we can do something about that. So let's say release resource, and also I want to destroy that item. So let me see, it should be near the create object, the destroy object. So let's put it here, and let's just connect the find slot with the release. Okay, so now let's see what to release. Token dot release, token dot resource. Now let's see if it works or not. I can see it's not working, it's just clearly destroying it. So that's not what I wanted. So let's see if I can solve that. So after find slot, let me separate this and let me put it here. This has to come at the find slot, and okay, so you see the numbering is off. It's this should be the first one. So if I connect this now with the release, okay, so I can see the numbering is 1 and 2. So what will happen now? Yes, I can see now it's working nicely. So they have destroyed it. So this is okay, I get it. So now let me just reset it and go a little slower. The items are appearing here, so that's not what I intended it to be. So I'm creating the object and I made them appear. Okay, so at object, let's say I want them to appear at the QE. Okay, so now if I run this, okay, okay, Hmm. Hmm. So this slot item was supposed to wait for 10 seconds, so they didn't got any slot, so they should have gone through this, but that's not happening. So let's see what is happening here. So in the find slot, I have put, okay, so it's not here, sorry. So I put here 10 seconds, okay? So now let's see. So this is a cylinder, it has no rack. So it failed, but it still triggered through this route. So that shouldn't happen. So how can we stop that? On timer fired, release token, release object. So instead of here, let's see if there is something like, let's see, force. Okay, so here is a decide element. So that should do the trick. So in the decide element, uh, let's see what is the decide going to do. Okay, so I need another connector. So from here, connected with the, okay. So let's say when it fails, I want to assign a label. Label is going to be failed and the value is going to be 1. Okay. So in the decide, connectors 1. Okay. Okay. So on the conditional decide token dot failed. So in the find slot, I set a label. This token failed. So it should be there. So token failed equals to 0. In that case, true. If false, okay. So now let's reset, and if we run this, and if I pause, let's see what's happening here. So resource, okay. So there was nothing. Okay, okay, let's keep going. Okay, so on wait timer for set level assign to, can't we have another one? Mm, Let's create a label here. So let's call it failed, and the value will be 0. So in the find slot element, set label equals to 1. Okay, now let's see. Let's stop and let's see if, okay, there is a 1. Okay, 0. So now let's wait for them to finish. Okay, so now it's working. So yeah, so this is very handy. We can use it in a lot of scenarios in complex models. So don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out the next video. So in the next video, I'm planning to uh, create some orders that will take the products out from this rack. So until that time, be well and have a great day.